Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday here on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your host Eric, and this week we are talking about animal remains and past lives. So this week we have two different questions from two different viewers. One is from Moonseeker, and they wrote, "What are your thoughts on using animal remains in pagan-themed art as well as ritual tools? What are your thoughts on working with the spirit or essence of what remains with the animal remains after death? Things to consider, respect or lack thereof, of the deceased animals, where they get the remains from, via roadkill, people who hunt anyway but don't use the bones, and etc. And of course, laws protecting and or restricting collection and ownership of certain animals in certain countries and between their states." We'll go ahead and address that before we get to the second question. The first part is, what do I think about using animal remains as ritual tools or as pagan-themed art? Well, I think as long as there is respect for what the animal has given up to you, there should be no problem with it. For example, and this is a good excuse for me to show off one of my ritual tools. This is my drinking horn. I use this in ritual. I have painted it, and I have finished it with an alcohol-proof shellac, which took me a really long time to find. At any rate, I bought this at a leather store and then sanded it and finished it, and then before using it dedicated a ritual to the animal it came from. I'm assuming this animal is probably either not dead and they just took this from it, which is kind of rude, but I did do the ritual to thank the animal for allowing me the use of its horn. I don't see that that's a problem. That is something that I would probably go so far as to do for each individual item that I was going to use, because I feel that that's appropriate. In my state, there are no restrictions on owning or possessing remnants of animals so long as the way that you came by them was legal. There are a few different types of animals that you cannot purchase in Utah. However, collecting things like antlers and horns and things of that nature, you can do not only without a license, but freely in the woods. You can go up every autumn and actually quite literally pick up deer antlers just that have been shed over the course of years. So that's something that nobody here has ever had a problem with. Even though the animal didn't die to give you those, I still think that you should be thanking the animal for its gift to you. Another thing that you can do, as opposed to dedicating an entire ritual to that, is if I were to head out and go after some shed antlers, I would probably go out with some sort of offering to the land, and specifically to those deer. Granted, they may never find if I leave a hay bale out in the middle of nowhere, but I'd be more than willing to bet that some of the animals that do reside in the area at the time are going to enjoy that, and I'm totally okay with that. As for any other states, I can't really say. Like I said, there are laws that you cannot kill mountain lions in Utah anymore unless they are quite literally threatening yours or your family's life. Even if they're threatening livestock, from what I understand, it's against the law to shoot and kill them unless they're an imminent threat to you and your family. Otherwise, it's animal services that needs to take care of that, and you just call the number. They show up as fast as they can. However, if there is one that does wind up getting killed, you can keep it as long as it was not destroyed in a manner that was against the law. It's a long, sorted process, and there is lots of red tape, but you can do it. I don't personally feel the need to go that far out of my way to have a cougar claw or anything like that. But it's one of those things where if you wanted something a little bit weird, it's entirely possible that you could have it imported, but it's also entirely possible that if the animal you're trying to use is on the list of restricted animals to kill, they're going to ask you where you got it. So, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about that, feel free to post it in the comment section below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Let's move on to Obsessed509. Asked us, what is our opinion on past animal lives? Do we believe that they can influence you in your current life? There was a little bit of vaguity with this question. A little bit. We didn't really find out whether they meant us in past lives as animals, and does that affect us, or is it our animals' past lives? Well, due to the fact that I don't have any animals, I don't keep pets because they're a responsibility, and I am just a terrible person when it comes to being responsible for another living being. At any rate, so I couldn't talk about my animals' past lives because I haven't had many pets throughout the course of my life. I've had 2 rats, and that's it. And that was quite a long time ago. As for my opinion on past animal lives as me being an animal in the past, I feel that I've connected to a certain number of animal archetypes, but I don't believe that I have had any past lives as an animal. It's just not part of my belief system. So, I mean, it may be part of heathenry, it's just not part of my belief system. I don't actually know what the hard and fast Asatru and or heathens believe. I don't think I've ever been an animal in a past life. So, although I have connected to animal archetypes and not necessarily habits, but kind of character traits that I would associate with certain types of animals, but I don't feel that I've ever had a past life as an animal. So, again, any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Hit that like button because we love to see it when you do that. We also love to see your comments. Thanks for watching, everybody, and of course, until next time, Odin be with you.
Then we shall follow as falcons grey and hunt